I'm wondering, also, how do you think we can use social media to sort of help students understand how to do that? So we've got LinkedIn, but what about Facebook? What about Twitter? Like, those are always seen as really just like, real social and not really connected to a professional sense. So how can we use that, not just being connected, but in terms of engaging? How do we do that?
I think it's interesting from speaking with the class up there. I do get the sense that they are guided by their own use. They're only using it for social purposes right now, connecting with friends, having discussions and whatnot. I think the classroom is a great place to start doing that. Using those technologies in the classroom, whether it's putting a hashtag and a live Twitter feed up on the screen while you're conducting class so people can tweet notes at the class. Now you've got this collaborative collective of notes from the entire class all in one bucket, using things like a Facebook page in the class to actively engage students and answer questions and get them asking and answering questions. If you can show them a greater application for those social networks and and different types of social media, then I think it starts to click a little bit. At least that's how, for the professional world, it didn't click for me until I started being able to successfully connect with some of my target, audience. When I was doing business development, I was able to connect with people on LinkedIn that then led to live meetings that then led to closed sales. And that was when it clicked. That was when I went, okay, there's something really here. The more, if you can design an experience in the classroom to help them see that, that's, I think, where they're going to get a lot of benefit.
Yeah, and that's something that I'm really interested in and really invested in. And you know that for my Com 239 class, I've got the Facebook page. And so I'm really invested in using social media to enrich the educational experience. So not just, and you might have read my blog post about sort of why aren't they teaching social media in college. And that really came out of our conversation that we had and thinking about, well, are they using it? Like, are they teaching people how to use it, or are they using it to enrich the educational experience? And that second component is what I'm really concerned with. And what I found out is that, yeah, people are teaching it. Mm-hmm. They're teaching it at OSU, they're teaching it at lots of different colleges, like how to use e-marketing campaigns and how to sort of do that work. But the enrichment of the educational experience, I think, is the more difficult challenge that people aren't sure how to do that, right? And whether it's not having resources, not having support, or just not knowing enough about the social media platforms to use it. Tell me more about that.
Well, I think it is a double-edged sword because, number one, I hate the word campaign when related to talking about social media because it's very hard to have a campaign with tools. Social media is, at the end of the day, they're all tools, very much like a telephone or a fax machine or email. So first we have to look at those as tools, and tools can be applied to much more than marketing or pushing messages. Mm-hmm. Campaigns are based in pushing messages to a certain target audience. Tools can be applied in a greater sense in terms of in the classroom, in a business, and that's really what our focus is looking at the tools and figuring out, okay, what are the objectives? So if the objective in a classroom is to learn certain materials, how can those tools be positioned to help students learn those materials? And I'm a big advocate of learn by doing.